Yo, this is Coach Cali Sports Talk. Yo, I just want to come on here and talk about a few things. The matchup with Colorado and the UCF Knights. Man, what? All right. So you seen the thriller with Colorado this weekend. Colorado did their thing, had a comeback win when people doubted them, right? And beat Baylor in overtime with the thriller uh, regulation catch to LeJohntay Webster, where I mean, basically Shador was kind of like running for his life to the sidelines and just threw that joker. He did not just throw it once; he threw it twice. He threw it to Shepard first, and Shepard dropped it. But people want to talk bad about Shepard. Shepard was working. If you really watch the game, Shepard was doing his thing. Yeah, he dropped the pass, but you can't um, just destroy the man because he dropped the pass. You feel me? Like it's just over with. The young man is a great athlete. The young man he caught over 1,000 receiving yards at Vandy. So he's an elite wide receiver. So I wouldn't trash talk that man at all. People need to stop that. The offensive line uh play, yeah, it was suspect at times, but when they needed him, then the offensive line held up. Uh but anyway, let's go on to this UCF uh matchup with Colorado. Colorado, this looks like a good matchup for them as well. It's going to be very competitive, but I think Jefferson's a second half player as well for UCF. He's not a first half guy. I watched him at Arkansas. Now this guy can run. He's a big load. He kind of reminds me of Cardale Jones from Ohio State, far as the size and build. Right? His accuracy is not that good. He's okay under pressure. Um, he can really get rattled and panic a little bit. Um, but they are 3-0, I believe, 3-0 right now, and they had a bye. They beat TCU a week or so ago, and but TCU was actually beating them same way, kind of like uh, Colorado was down to Baylor, and then Colorado prevailed at the end. Same thing with UCF. Same thing. You said UCF is a running team. They run. They run the ball. They're okay at passing. Um, I don't know what their stats are. Let me look it up real quick. Um, UCF. All right. So UCF stats, game stats. Let's see. So they played. They're okay. So their wins are against University of New Hampshire, 57-3. They beat Sam Houston, who is now, I think, an FBS now team. Uh, they came from Division FCS to FBS now. Sam Houston got beat down 45-14. TCU, they won 35-34. Here we go. Let me check out the stats for that game. All right, so the stats. The stats. All right. KJ Jefferson, 13 for 22, 238 yards passing, 3 touchdowns in this game. No INTs, which is unique. No INTs. Josh Hoover for TCU threw for 35 for 52 for 402 yards, 4 touchdown passes, 0 interceptions. Um, Now, this is the kicker. So he threw for 230 yards in passing, but this rushing yards 289, and KJ has 46 of them. He has the most. No, the second most. Running back RJ Harvey had 180 yards, 2 touchdowns. So, man, Colorado was good at stopping the run. Uh, they did have their down bust a few times on them. Um, but let me see where. So TCU in the first quarter was leading by 21 in the second half. So they had 7 points. I mean, the first half, sorry. 7 points to TCU's 21 at halftime. And then they made some adjustments. And then in the third quarter, uh, they UCF scored 13 points in the third, and then TCU scored 10 in the third quarter. In the fourth quarter, that's where it changed. UCF scored 15 unanswered points, right, to TCU's 3. And that's how they won the game. So, what's TCU's record? TCU is 2-1, right? Very competitive team. UCF 3-0. Colorado cannot take them lightly at all. They're going down to UCF, which Gus Malzahn is the national championship coach. So um, it starts with Colorado's defense shutting down the run, forcing them to pass. Secondary's got to do their job and cover KJ because KJ can run the ball. Two, Colorado's offensive line, they have to run the ball more. Run the ball. Run. As you see that even though Josh Hoover threw for 402 yards, they still was able to win the game with their offense and their defense. Their defense had UCF defense really got torched, right? But they had enough defense in the fourth quarter to make a comeback and in the third quarter. They gave up 10 points in the third quarter. But in the fourth quarter, they only gave up 3, a field goal. So that's going to be some challenges for Colorado. But I think Colorado comes out of UCF and gets that dub. I think they do. But, man, they cannot abandon the run. I mean, in the fourth quarter, late in the third quarter and fourth quarter, Colorado really abandoned the run and kept passing, pass, right? Which that ultimately won them the game. But I would like to see them, run a little bit more, man. Take some pressure off of Shador. Take some pressure off of him because he was, running for his life at some times, and he got sacked so many times in this last game. This game here, they're going to have to eliminate that by stop just passing all the time. Give those running backs, you got some great running backs, allow them to put pressure on the defense. I think that Colorado kind of went into panic mode, but it did work in their favor. And I'm for Colorado, right? I'm for them. But I think that they could have ran the ball just a little bit more effective to get the ball down the field. But hey, they won the game and they won it, you know, by a touchdown. So it was a great thing to see. Very exciting game. Man, it was so many in this game here. I think that there was so many heroes. LaJohntay Webster, uh, Shador Sanders, Travis Hunter, right? And the defense. The defense, you know, the defense really hold their own. They can really hold their own. Yes, they gave up some touchdowns on some passes. DJ and and Hodge, you know, got some touchdowns thrown on them. But um, man, the defense is pretty good. The secondary. I wish they had Shiloh back because I think Shiloh would have that would really be a game changer. But man, Cameron Silman Craig is that dude. That kid is all over the field, and people do not talk about that young man enough. That young man right there he reminds me kind of like Bob Sanders a little bit with the hair and it's coming out of nowhere. I mean, he had some tackles in the game where, man, he came across the field like a seeking missile and boom, was letting folks out. You know what I mean? It was one where I was wondering, man, did he knock himself out because he hit the dude so hard he fell down and kind of shook his head a little bit and got up. I thought he was out cold when he hit the guy. So man, but this my preview this week. I believe that uh, Colorado will beat UCF in a close game. Um, if they can stop the shenanigans on offense, I think I watched it and watched it over some of the sacks that were happening. It all was not on Khalil Benson. It was not. Uh, but that one dude for the line outside defensive end or outside linebacker, whoever that was for Baylor, man, that dude was not playing. I mean, he was giving Benson and whoever else that was on that side, that right side, he was giving them hell. Yes, he was. So shout out to the young man at Baylor. Baylor played very well. I thought they played good. Great competition, man. They had a chance to win the game. Uh, but that game is over with, and to that Cam Stewart, Baylor locked on guy. Hey man, I saw your show, man. You was sad. You was over there like you wanted to cry. You wanted to jump off the bridge. But but hey man, it's all in good sport. Hey man, and you live to talk about it another day. And I saw you post today uh, about the Baylor game versus Colorado. I did not watch the show, but I saw you did post Cam Stewart, that gentleman there for Baylor. He was talking mad trash, and Colorado came with the dub at the house. You feel me? But anyway, let's go on to the NFL. The Raiders, man. Raiders. How do we lose to the Panthers? Like, they go with Andy Dalton, which I know Andy Dalton, he's good for winning a game or two, right? I mean, we get held 7 points for 3 quarters, and then we act like we want to score some points in the fourth quarter. This is crazy. I mean, they the Carolina Panthers scored points in every quarter. Every quarter. The score was 36-22, right? What was the game stats? Andy Dalton threw for 319 yards, 3 touchdowns, 0 interception. And this guy is an interception quarterback. He is. How the Raiders not shut this guy down after the Bryce Young deal? And I'm really questioning because I know like the NFL, they play for who the players, they play for who they want to play for. And I know NFL players will shut down. They don't care. They're getting a check. They will quit on you. Some NFL players will quit on you and 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 tank the season, all that. Some of these guys will bet on their own games, things like that. We know this happens. This happens. Well, let me just read this. Gardner Minshew, 214 yards passing, 1 touchdown, 1 NIT. He was sacked twice for 8 yards, and Andy Dalton was sacked twice for 13 yards. Okay. Um, oh, they had Aiden O'Connell come in too for 9 for 12 for 82 yards, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, 1 sack. I mean, how do you lose to the Panthers? This is crazy. And I don't want to even go into it because I watched the game. I didn't have a chance to watch the game for real. So I don't want to go into too much depth. But when I saw this, when I heard that they lost to the Panthers, I was just like floored. Unacceptable. Unacceptable, man. Unacceptable. Raiders, we got to do better. But this is unacceptable. I mean, I know that I'm not getting on Antonio Pierce right now because he's probably dealing with a lot behind the scenes. But guys, we gotta win this. The games that we gotta win. I mean, there was no Bryce Young there, and then now that all of a sudden the team wants to play for Andy Dalton, but don't want to play for Bryce Young. This is crazy. All right, let me go over the scores a little bit. Houston and Minnesota. Minnesota beats Houston 34-7. Philly beats New Orleans 15-12. Denver beats Tampa Bay 26-7. Green Bay beats Tennessee 30-20. I mean 30-14. New York Giants beat Cleveland 21-15. Chicago Bears lose to Indiana 21-16. I know my homeboys are hurt at the barbershop. My homeboy Keith, yo, Seattle beats Miami 24-3. Baltimore beats Dallas Cowboys 28-25 at their house. Detroit 20-13 over Arizona. Oh man, this thing's right here. San Francisco loses to the Rams 24-27. I know my brother's happy about that game. I watched this game last night. It was boring. It was kind of like a boring game. But KC wins 22-17, and Patrick Mahomes is dominating once again. Yo, I'm like I said, I'm upset about the Raiders. That should have been a winnable game, and they went in there and got pretty much stomped out for 3 quarters. Then the fourth quarter, they act like they wanted to do something right here. So it was too late in the fourth quarter when you lose in the second and third quarter. You know what I mean? So it was way too late. So But anyway, I just wanted to speak on that. Also, my USC Trojans, they lost this weekend. Uh, like I said, man, that we shouldn't have lost this game. USC shouldn't have lost this game. We shouldn't have lost this game. When the quarterback only throws for 32 yards. I mean, this is ridiculous. And then we don't get the face mask call. We don't get that. There were several other things, penalties. There, offensive Michigan offensive line was holding on our on defense. You know, there was a lot of things that they were doing that cost the game. But also, it also on our defense just could not. It was 4 runs that USC should have stopped when they missing gaps, man, missing gaps, and which our defense was doing pretty well. And but those 4 runs were the gaps they were missing. And Miller Moss once again threw for 283 yards, 3 touchdowns, 1 INT, which he shouldn't have thrown that. I mean, oh my God. I mean, everybody can see that that guy was standing there. But Alex Orji throws 7 for 12 for 32 yards, 0 touchdowns. 32. And they ran for 290. Three touchdowns. We ran for 96. This is ridiculous. We shouldn't have lost this game. I don't care what anybody say. Good job from Michigan having a good game plan with just running the ball, because that's all they did. They went old school on us and ran smash mouth football, which they supposed to do. Michigan did their job. We didn't do our job stopping the run. We didn't do our job. So USC, we got some soul searching to do on that stopping the run once again. But you know what? A lot of teams lost this week, man. The teams that were supposed to win, they lost. Kansas State loses 38-3 or something like that. What was the final score? 7. Kansas, let's see, Kansas State. These dudes who's supposed to be the Big 12 going to the conference championship. This team here, Kansas State, they look like hot garbage. Okay, they kicked field goals the whole game. BYU drilled them out. They're looking at BYU to possibly win that conference, the conference, Big 12. I mean, what was his stats? Avery Johnson is his name, the quarterback, which they was talking about he's better than Shador. He threw 15 for 28, 30, 130 yards, 2 INTs. Jake Ritz-Zip, I don't know how to say his last name, 15 to 21, 149 yards, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. This is BYU's quarterback. So, man, DJ Gideon, the running back, 93 yards, 0 touchdowns. Dylan Edwards, 6 carries, 41 yards, 0 touchdowns. And so they're a running team. So not only that, not only they lost, okay, Oklahoma State lost to Utah. So man, these supposed to be the top dogs of the conference, and they're already losing. Okay, so the Big 12 is a big mess right now. So it's a chance for Colorado to do their thing. They got to beat UCF. They have to beat UCF. And everybody, man, is, talking bad, still talking bad, talking down on Coach Prime and all that stuff. Man, they're doing it. They're saying this game, Baylor game was a fluke. They shouldn't have won it. Okay. Which, all right, regulation part, but now it's a new game. They scored a touchdown. LeJohntay Webster catches the ball in the end zone. You got to shut up. You can't say nothing about it. Tied game. Once Mata kicks the field goal, you got to shut up on that. They won in regulation with 2 seconds to go. He completed the pass. That wasn't no fluke if he catches it. Not a fact. It was a straight dime to Will Shepherd. They could have scored on that pass right there for a touchdown. The same way, the same dang play. Dang near. On the same DBs. Those a pass again, the same pass again. And you know what? They take it into overtime. You should have won in overtime. You should have took the ball. You had a chance. You won the toss. You elected for Shador to go on offense. That's where you made a mistake. And then you missed your field goal. You could have had a 3-point lead. A 10-point lead, I'm sorry. You missed a field goal. That would have won you the game, Baylor. You missed the field goal. You gave number 2 a chance to come down the field, and they said, leave it all on 2's hands, and that's exactly what they did. They left it in 2's hand. 2 came back and scored that touchdown with LeJohntay Webster at the helm at the end of the ball and catching it. Boom. They take it to overtime. You elected to give the ball to Shador Sanders, and guess what happened? Touchdown. Travis Hunter, boom, knocks the ball out. Boom. You said the boy can't tackle. Well, he showed y'all he can tackle and he can hit. Best player right now in college football, they say. Some saying there's a few other players. But that young man is a Heisman player. Travis Hunter is. And don't sleep on, y'all better stop sleeping on Jimmy Horn. For all those people that talk, it's just Travis and Shador. No, it ain't just Travis and Shador. Y'all forget about LeJohntay. You forget about Will Shepherd. There's still more in the season for them guys to even go up. And Will Shepherd, and LeJohntay, he scored that last touchdown. You forget about Jimmy Horn early in the last couple of games, how he was lightning as well. Shador's got a lot of weapons. Quit saying that it's just only Shador and Travis Hunter when there's Jimmy Horn and Omarion Miller who came in for a couple of plays and lit it up, scored a touchdown. That young man needs to be on the field more. I've been saying it the whole time. Omarion Miller. And then they let Draylon Miller loose a little bit. Y'all say they don't play no freshmen. There were 3 freshmen playing in this game. There was Seaton, Draylon, and one more guy playing. They were freshmen. Welch. And you say Coach Prime does not recruit high school. Well, there were 3 high school players playing in this game. And I think on defense too. I'm not for sure, Think on defense too. On the defensive line, I think there was a rotation of some guy. I think McCoy or something, maybe. So it might have been 4 high schoolers playing. Y'all got to stop that. Talking about he don't recruit high school. That's not true. Stop that because he recruits. A lot of these schools do the transfer portal. A lot of these schools do transfer portals. So stop that, man. Anyway, man, I'm outro. Got to get my grind on. But yo, I just wanted to speak today on this and get my little preview. I think, like I said, Colorado will go into Florida and win. I think too the rain was a big problem for both teams towards that game because they said it was going to rain and it did. It came down. It rained. And you know what? The Colorado Buffs came back and won. So, yo, check me out on Coach Cali Sports Talk. I'm also on Twitter as well, X. Yo, check me out, DJ Killer Cali, X. Uh, Also, check out DJ Killer Cali on YouTube. Like and subscribe to the channel. Check out all the In the Dojo mixes. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Also, check out New Legacy Martial Art Academy. I am a mixed martial arts coach by trade. Check out all my videos and tutorials. All right, y'all. Till the next time, man. Y'all have a blessed day. God bless everybody. Deuces.